Hi everyone, thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be explaining the meaning of the book of Job, which may be the oldest book of the entire Bible. Job is one of the wisdom books of the Old Testament because it offers insight on a very important and very confusing issue. That is God truly all good and all powerful? If he's both of those things, then why does he allow his people, Christians, to suffer? I'm going to answer that question, but before I do, let me introduce you to the man Job. So he lived in the land of Uz during the patriarchal time of Israel, that is during the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He was one of the richest people in his area. He had a large family. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, a wife, and most importantly, he was described as a blameless man, a man of complete integrity. He was very pleasing to God. But one day, Satan appeared before God in the heavenly court. He had permission to enter heaven in Old Testament times. He does not anymore because once Jesus Christ died on the cross, as Revelation 12 explains, he was expelled from the presence of God forever. So he cannot enter heaven anymore. But back then he could. And he told God, he guaranteed him, that if he took away everything from Job, if God stripped him of all that he had, Job would surely curse God to his face. So God accepted his challenge and permitted Satan to attack Job, but he could not harm him physically. So Job was devastated to hear the news that his house had collapsed, killing his children, fire had rained from heaven, destroying his sheep and shepherds, and he was robbed by raiders. What did he do? He did not deny or curse God like Satan wanted him to. Instead, he fell to the ground and worshipped God. Nevertheless, despite all that was happening in his life, he praised God. So Satan had failed. But he is relentless. He was relentless in his mission to get Job to curse God. So he tried again, and this time God permitted him to attack Job physically, but he had to spare his life. So Satan struck Job with painful boils, that is, painful blisters all over his body. And soon Job found himself scraping his skin with a piece of broken pottery, as his wife told him to just go ahead and curse God and die to put an end to his agony. But what did Job say? His response was very profound. He said, "Are we only to accept the good things from God and never anything bad?" So soon Job's 3 friends arrived to comfort him. They had learned that he was in anguish and they wanted to come and comfort him, but instead of silently listening to him complain as they should have done and being sympathetic with him, they began to argue with him. They accused him of sinning against God to have caused this to happen to him in the first place. Job denied that he had done anything wrong because he was innocent. He was telling the truth, but his friends denied this, and then this turned into a long debate, which God himself ended when he appeared on the scene. Job had wanted God to answer this question, why? Why is this happening to me? But God did not answer this question directly, and God began to bombard Job with questions that only God knows the answer to. He just finally accepted that God is sovereign. His faith was restored. God is God. He's still in control, and he has never left his throne. Job did not sin in all of this. Despite the terrible conditions he was in, he did not curse or deny God like Satan wanted him to do, and God blessed him. He was healed physically, and everything went back to normal. Everything was even better than it had been before. His friends, on the other hand, were punished because they had spoken inaccurately about God. Often God permits Christians to go through suffering and trials and tribulations to make us better. And 1 Peter 1, 6 through 7 says, "So be truly glad. There is wonderful joy ahead, even though you have to endure many trials for a little while. These trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests and purifies gold, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold. So when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed to the whole world." And this is very encouraging and enlightening right here. It tells us to rejoice when we're being afflicted. When we're suffering, we can mature spiritually and draw closer to God. Our faith is sharpened and we're made better. We improve. James 1:12 also provides insight. It says, "God blesses those who patiently endure testing and temptation. Afterward, they will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him." So we have a reason to rejoice when we're being tested. It's from God. We can take courage and relief in knowing that he loves us enough to make us better, to draw us closer to him. And, we need to take advantage of what's happening around us. We can't curse or deny God. We just need to have faith that he knows what he's doing and learn the lesson that God's trying to teach us. Again, as frustrating as it can be, some things our small minds just were not designed to understand. Even if God came down, descended from heaven, and literally explained to us why some things happen in the world, like tragedies, disasters, and he permits these things to happen, even if he told us, I mean, we still wouldn't get it because he's just so wise, and the reasons he has for these things, we just could not wrap our brains around. That's how wise he is. His ways are wiser than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And we're motivated in the Bible to just put our faith in him. We don't need to demand God answers. We shouldn't do that. We should just be silent, know that God is God. He has reasons for everything. So if your life is full of pain, regrets, sorrows, failures, you still have no excuse to yell at God. I mean, it's okay to complain, but you should not deny or curse him because he's good, he is loving, and he comes through in the end. He always does. Put your hope in Jesus Christ. He is your only hope. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you benefited off it, please subscribe, like it, share it, and don't miss the next one. Until then, God bless.